To pray, there's no angels where I go. Only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kiru's show here. Now, whenever we last left off, Midoriya has just gotten done with the sports festival. Along with that, he has unlocked, or manifested, his mother's diamond eyes. Now, he was unaware of this ability, and he wouldn't be aware of it until the people watching told him about it. In fact, many people just thought it was part of his quirk, something that he knew about. However, the Crystal Gems were somewhat horrified at seeing that, and were freaking out a little bit. Since this sports festival was also being broadcasted along to homeworlds. And the Crystal Gems, they were able to get bismuth, lapis, amethyst, surprisingly, and even jasper to watch it with them, inviting them all over to at least try and settle things aside for Midoriya, and to see exactly how much better he's gotten with his power returning. Amethyst and Pearl, specifically Garnet too, were all a bit horrified to see those diamond eyes return, while Jasper basically immediately jumped off the ground and thrown herself into a diamond salute. Now, with that being said, this is around later on into the day, after everyone has gone home, and Midoriya, he's heading to the apartments. As soon as he would get to his apartment with his dad, he would have found out that things are a bit odd. His dad just sitting on the couch, along with Pearl and Garnet, and bismuth, trying to talk with him, asking him if he is okay. Midoriya is saying that he's perfectly fine. Why? What happened? Them just explaining things, along with showing him a video of his match, specifically the one with the diamond eyes, pausing it at the point where you can zoom in and see his face. The expression on Midoriya's face tells you everything you need to know. Along with those eyes, they look cold and merciless, like there is no remorse behind them. Midoriya, a bit confused, just telling them that he's okay. It's nothing to worry about, as he would go to just take a walk, basically going to leave the apartment and head over to the Crystal Gems Temple. He's pretty sure he told Mina that he'll meet her over there today, since they did at least want to hang out and talk more, as he wanted to pick up something from home, then head there. Now, whenever he would get there, he would eventually find all the gems waiting for him, a bit confused, along with Jasper actually telling him that it was good to see him fight like that. In fact, you shouldn't hold back in battle. That is the one trait of a great leader. Midoriya basically having to walk past her and enjoy some time with his friends, although he does feel like the Crystal Gems are watching him like a hawk. So that is a bit odd, as the next day at lunch, everyone is somewhat talking, and trying to get a bit more information about Midoriya, as whenever they're all hanging out, Midoriya is basically considered to be the most popular person there. A lot of people do ask him questions and some advice about their quirks, along with the question about how he's using his quirk now. As you also do have the fact that he does take notice to Ida. Ida is not really eating his food, and he's actually pretty quiet. Midoriya actually asked him a question about that, to which he would just say that he's fine, but he does want to have a talk with Midoriya. He's not really too sure how to approach something. Now, Midoriya would just understand, basically being pulled aside, and Ida talking with him, asking him how would it well, is it possible for your healing ability to heal mangled legs or anything like that involving a person from below? Midoriya just saying that his healing ability was able to, well, heal 13. I'm not sure exactly how much damage there was to her body, but she was able to get back up and move again. Besides, she's made a full physical recovery since then. So, I guess, yeah? Midoriya, unaware of the fact that his tears can heal death, as Ida would just ask him for a favor. No doctor in the world, well, would even be able to do this. So he's asking Midoriya, please, please, give me some of those tears. I'm not trying to sound rude, it's just that my brother was injured, and he can't use his legs. If he, well, gets healed or has this magical stuff, or the science behind it, I don't know, but it's basically magic. Please, I'm begging you. Ida basically bowing and pleading. Midoriya is telling him to please to stop that. He'll give him some of his tears, but, well, I kinda. As he just looked around, saying that he kinda did help All Might with an injury he had. So he knows for a fact that it does work on people. In fact, I'll go home and tomorrow, whenever we're doing our, well, selecting our internships, I can bring in a jar, and you can take it to your brother. Afterwards, if it doesn't really work, then I'm not sure if anything would. He might just have to retire, Ida. Ida just thinking Midoriya, and the two heading back. As soon as he goes to sit down, Momo would ask him about his gem. Every guy at the table basically choking on their food. Bakugo going to say that she really won't like the answer to that. Her a bit confused, saying that you have the same gem as your mother, but, well, she kinda. No, it's fine. Deku giving the explanation. The same one he gave in the locker room about how this is his mother's gem, and his mom didn't retire. Or, well, I believe it was news that she died, but everyone probably forgot. Him basically just explaining more about it. As she would feel a bit. Yikes. I'm so sorry. Eventually, that would be over with. And we'll cut to the next day, where everyone is selecting their internships. Ida, he would get the, well, container from Midoriya, and immediately call someone to come pick it up, since he can't really run off campus and run to a different town with it. He'll just have to go to, or well, talk to someone and get this to them as soon as possible. Now, Ida would actually select a different internship, and things would go normally. Deku picking, well, Endeavor, Mina picking Endeavor too, and Todoroki doing the same. Everyone goes to their internship smoothly, and Midoriya would basically be training with Todoroki, along with Mina trying to learn more about her ability, Black Whip. While over on the other side of the city, or in the city where Stain is, there is one hero tracking him down tonight. The pro hero Fat Gum, who is also taking a team up. Since you also do have another new pro, or at least a rookie who needs to learn the ropes. Especially since this rookie isn't human. You have Jasper. Now, Fat Gum has told Jasper, or at least talked to her about many different things. Since whenever she did walk into, well, a place, she tried to, well, demand for a Pro Hero license. Eventually having to be taken to and talked to a lot of different logistics or legal teams about everything. Her basically having to say that she is one of the crystal gems. So it's all fine. Those words being very sour in her mouth. Now, she would have actually gotten her license along with actually being able to team up with a veteran pro, or a very good ranking pro, as they would have taken down Stain fairly easily. And I'll be able to skip over this event. Now, basically, that allows me to, what is it? I believe the final exams. Yeah. Now, for the final exams, this is going to be the teams. Deku and Mina versus All Might. Now, over the course of the internship, Midoriya has gotten better control over his fire. Along with that, he's just been focusing on his quirk. His other abilities he has not been working on. Now, for the final exams. This is going to be interesting. Deku and Mina are facing off against a full-powered All Might. Mina being able to bring herself up to around 50%. That's a comfortable level. 55, there is some discomfort. 65, maximum. And 70 is pushing her body to its physical breaking point. Now, she also did try and learn more about Black Whip, but, well, the worst thing about Black Whip is the fact that it relies on your emotions. And Mina does not know how to control those very well. Now, everyone wants to know exactly how this fight will go, since they do remember the USJ in a lot of detail. Now, Mina and Midoriya would just step into the ring, and they would be ready. As soon as they do walk into the place, and they do begin to talk more, trying to figure out a good strategy, they would have come up with one thing. Taking down All Might is out of the question, since if Midoriya can move at high speeds, and Mina can move at high speeds, then that means All Might can probably move a lot faster. So Midoriya can just go into his diamond mode and run them out of the arena. Along with that, All Might wouldn't allow him to. As soon as he turns to go and run, All Might would just rush in as fast as he can, meaning that he would still probably be able to catch up to him. That's quite a dilemma. Now, they would just be ready, as soon as the match begins, All Might would have sent a large punch, directly smashing it straight forwards as much as he can. Midoriya and Mina actually feeling the ground rumble at this, as Midoriya would just go to throw up a shield with his left hand, immediately throwing it up as one sound could be heard. The best way to describe it is as soon as the shockwave met the shield, it basically sounded like a church bell ringing at 500 times the normal volume. Everyone in the city nearby could hear that, and were a bit curious as to what that sound was. As that happened, All Might would immediately just rush in, along with Midoriya, these two meeting in the direct center of the city. As Midoriya would just send a large punch in All Might's gut, All Might smashing him across the face, Mina rushing in at 65% of one for all, her absolute limits. If she goes any further, she's going to physically damage her body, and she knows that. Now, Midoriya would just be fighting with All Might, these two going back and forth in punches. Midoriya actually getting sent flying through a building as All Might would just charge at him and shoulder check him. Midoriya getting sent flying, hitting through 4 walls, before slowing himself down. Mina rushing in and immediately throwing Black Whip out at him. As soon as she does that with one hand, she would bring up her other hand, blasting acid. All Might being able to just throw up his hand and grab Black Whip, wrapping it around and immediately smashing his hands together, causing a large sound wave that would actually shake Mina's eardrums. Hear her temporarily going deaf as everyone watches All Might just charge at her. Before one thing would happen, Midoriya would burst straight through the building, right to the left of both of them, and grab All Might by his arm, immediately just yanking him backwards. Midoriya is using his shapeshifting to match All Might's size, as he would just walk out. and looked directly at All Might, before tossing him straight through another building, and then turning to Mina, saying that they need to fight him. Mina just agreeing, and hoping that she'll be able to at least keep up, telling him to get All Might stationary. Better said than done. Now, All Might would rush back in, as soon as he does so, he will immediately smash his hands together once again directly in front of their faces. And Midoriya would just bring up his hand, grabbing All Might's and immediately kicking him in the guts, All Might being able to counter him with a smash to the face, along with actually going to grab Mina by her leg as she brought it up to go and kick All Might, grabbing her and actually throwing her straight to Midoriya, as he would just tell them they need to try harder. Midoriya getting annoyed, getting back up as his eyes turn to diamonds, and he rushes forwards. All Might actually surprised at Midoriya's speed, as he actually is basically flying now, as he would smash into All Might and actually toss him up into the air, and the two would go airborne, people being surprised and shocked at the same time, as they just watch this battle. Midoriya is basically punching in All Might's arms, while All Might is dodging and, well, trying to at least get away from Midoriya, being able to physically bring his hand behind him and smash his hands together. With a split second he could, smashing directly into Midoriya as they would go tumbling down into a building. Mina coming in. As soon as All Might gets up, he would look around for Midoriya, before having something wrap around his neck. Mina immediately grabbing him and actually beginning to pull, using both of her hands. As soon as she begins to pull at All Might just grabs onto this thing and tries to yank away at it, before Midoriya does kick up and smash his hands directly together in front of All Might's face, showing him exactly how it feels, before Mina rushes in and immediately just throws herself forwards, launching directly in All Might's back, smashing into his spine. Him basically making a pain response to this, or a sound of pain, as she would throw out her hand and smash him straight through a building. Everyone actually watching that happen. Midoriya actually asking her if she can keep up. Her just saying that she's got a couple minutes left, before she gives out. Midoriya just saying that that's good. If they can take him down, then they can just walk to the exit. People hearing their strategy. They're going to take down the #1 hero. That's insane. Watching as Midoriya would immediately just turn to his left. And for Midoriya, he would use his superhuman speed, or his quick reflexes, as you can call it. Basically immediately turning around and grabbing All Might by his face, before pile driving him into the dirt, and flying alongside the ground, basically smashing him downwards as All Might begins to grab onto Midoriya's arm, being to actually try and get it to break, or actually just buckle, in an attempt to try and get free of his grasp. Midoriya basically doing so, and then swiping upwards with his hand. All Might getting sent flying as Mina would just throw out her hand, grabbing All Might with Black Whip and beginning to manipulate it, restraining him by his arms and by his legs as she would put him as high as she can, and then bring him downwards into the ground. All Might being sent smashing through multiple buildings. Midoriya rushing in to get back up, as he began to toss multiple shields out, and actually form, well, I believe there are polygons. Basically, he's making light constructions. All Might kind of confused about what's happening, as Midoriya would just manipulate his hands and smash them together. These boxes, as you can call them, directly smashing All Might's. One smashing All Might in the arm, the gut, the head, the side, every single direction. Everyone a bit surprised. Midoriya's eyes are diamonds again, as he would just begin to bring his hands downwards. Mina actually watching as Midoriya has been able to restrain All Might, before he does actually punch through one of them, and get free, directly rushing out of the box at Midoriya, rushing in and punching him as hard as he can in the guts. Midoriya coughing up a bit of blood before All Might does give him a large uppercut, sending him upwards. As All Might would just say as loud as he can, "Your smash!" Now, As soon as he says that, he would have punched Midoriya straight across the face, and he would have gotten sent flying. Midoriya nearly passing out the punch before his body does heal, being able to stop himself in the air and fly back in. Now, as soon as he does so, he has a pink trail following him, being able to tackle an All Might as he was heading straight for Mina. Mina being able to charge in directly after that, racing after both of them. No one is able to keep up with them. In fact, they're trying to slow down the footage to do so. And they can hear things actually shaking outside. As whenever Mina does come back in, she would just throw acid directly at All Might. Him bring up his hands and basically smacking it away once again, before she does rush in and actually sock him in the guts. All Might actually feeling this, as he would just go to bring his leg up. Midoriya doing one thing, a secret technique, the full Nelson, grabbing All Might and being able to restrain him by his arms, telling him that it's over, before Midoriya does seemingly just spark on fire, and begin to burn away. People watching as he's not really even affected by the fire, and Mina would just begin to throw punches at All Might, beginning to break away at his ribs, just sending them as much as she can, before doing one thing, pulling her hand backwards and telling Midoriya to move. Midoriya using super speed, directly letting go of All Might as she would throw out her hand, and send a 100% smash directly into his guts. Doing so, as soon as she does so, she would have thrown out her hand and just shouted United States of Smash, punching him directly across the face. As with her other hand, she would just bring up her... With her other hand, she would bring it up, and punch into his gut, All Might being sent flying at this combo, and her immediately dropping to the ground. Midoriya running over and healing her, telling her that it's going to be fine, and asking her how her stamina is. He heals her physical body, but she is tired as hell. Her just telling Midoriya that she was able to get him a good bit, before she actually does fall over and pass out. Midoriya just looking at that, turning him back to see All Might, wiping away the blood at his nose, and bringing his hand up to his gauntlets, ripping them both off, telling Midoriya that she has done well. Well then, I should expect no less from the top students in UA. Now, come on. I believe you have some pent-up frustration, Midoriya. You don't talk with your family about it, do you? Midoriya just confused, and rushing in, directly confronting All Might. All Might grabbing his fist and telling him one more thing. You need to calm down. You're fighting like a wild animal. In fact, I can tell you are full of anger. Midoriya just opening his mouth and letting out a large blast of fire, as he would send a kick directly into All Might's guts. All Might being sent flying as he would smash into another building, getting back up and rushing back in. Even with the broken ribs, he can still fight, as he would go to throw out his fist and directly go to smash into Midoriya, as Midoriya would just bring his own hand up, and stop All Might's hand without even buckling his own. All Might a bit confused, along with everyone. Midoriya just looking up directly at All Might, saying that he doesn't want to talk, as a large crater would form around him, and people would watch as All Might actually gets physically affected by this, cuts actually beginning to appear on his skin, along with Midoriya beginning to crush his actual hand, and bend it backwards. All Might actually falling over to one knee as he goes to throw out his other hand, shouting Delaware and throwing it outwards. Midoriya stopping this one, and telling All Might that he has been holding back all of his life. No one has ever asked me how I felt. But guess what, All Might? I let out that frustration the one and only way I know how to. Midoriya is sending a kick as hard as he can in All Might's jaw, saying, with a fight, as All Might gets sent flying out of the arena, as far away as he can. All Might basically breaking most of his skull in that hit. Midoriya using super speed to fly after him, and immediately just grab him in the air, and hold him up, bringing his left arm outwards and smashing it directly into his body, as he goes flying back into the arena and smashing into the ground, creating a large crater. Everyone a bit in shock as Midoriya would just walk over, and look down at All Might, as he would grab him and go to bring his hand up. As soon as he's about to throw the punch, he realizes that All Might is down, and that All Might is at least breathing. He can at least feel his heartbeat, as he would just do one thing: let go of All Might's shirt and walk away. Walking over to Mina and going to pick her up. As he would get to the exit, Midoriya would immediately just shrink back down, before actually falling over and going onto one knee. Taking in a deep breath and taking a deep breath out. He's trying to calm himself down. Along with that, being at that size is physically exhausting his body. He feels pins and needles all over. And he really does not want to do that again. Now, everyone is still in shock. Midoriya just took down All Might in a couple hits. There's no way. As everyone just look over at Bakugo, his eyes wide in trying to just figure this all out. Midoriya has just accomplished something Bakugo has always dreamed of: beating All Might in a fight. And he's not too sure how to feel. That is insane. As Kirishima would just tell him to calm down. They'll win too, as they would begin their other matches. I want to say Kirishima and Bakugo will be paired up together, and actually have to fight against Eraserhead. Well, you do have... I'm not really sure how the other matches would go, but I do want to say that everyone else would at least be paired up with a teacher. The ones who lost would still lose, even if they got a different teacher. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.